Okay, Mary J. Blige. When you first got offered the role of Evillene in The Wiz Live, The Wiz is this beloved property of both the stage and the screen. Did you feel any kind of like nervousness or pressure whatsoever, or were you just happy to be along for the ride?
Well, my first reaction, I was just super excited because it means so much to me from childhood to now, and just period, just in our culture. I was super excited, and I didn't start getting nervous until I started studying, till I actually got the script. But other than that, I was just overjoyed. I was really excited.
Well, let's talk about, so Evillene is the Wicked Witch, and the role was originated by Mabel King on the stage in the film. So how did you make the role your own?
I made the role my own by just channeling what I already knew, which is everybody has a evil lean. Everyone has a bad side. Everyone has a good side. And also just studying Maybelline as well in her role, but mostly just really looking at just life and just what, how it can actually bring the evil lean out of you.
Take us inside of the rehearsal process. How long did you guys have to put this thing together, and what point did you come into it?
Well, I was on tour for about maybe a week into the full rehearsal. And when I got there, as soon as I got there, I went into rehearsal for the song. And then the next day I went into rehearsal for the dance, the choreography. And then I was already, studying my role. So I was already, prepared, almost prepared there. So it was just singing, choreography, then stage for the acting part of it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that big number, if you could talk a bit more about that. It's in the second act of the show. It's your first big appearance in it. Talk about, I think a lot of people make the mistake of it's just singing a song, but there's some context and some story to it. So can you talk about delving into that a little bit?
Okay, well, singing the song, it's not just about singing the song. I mean, you have the costume, which is 1,000 pounds. I'm exaggerating. It was so heavy. And then you have the choreography, which you have to make work with the costume that's so heavy. And then you have to be this witch singing this song. So it all helped. The heaviness of the costume helped me to be even more wicked and evil because it was so heavy and so hot, and the crown was so heavy. And it took a lot of, work, and being that I train a lot, I work out a lot. So, I was strong enough to carry the thing. But you have to channel the witch to sing the song, for her to sing the song.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those costumes are quite amazing. I spoke with Neo not too long ago, who played the Tin Man, and he said that thing was so heavy on him.
Yeah.
But I guess he wasn't the only one.
Right.
When you put that costume on, you had learned the choreography, but were they teaching you the choreography with that in mind, that you were going to have this big, heavy thing on you, or?
No, they were teaching us the choreography just, with regular clothes on, just, no heavy costume. And then once we got the costume on, it was like, oh my God, like, it was like, how am I going to do this? But, I did it. Mm-hmm. I did.
So it's such a great cast in this show. There's David Alan Grier, Neo, as we mentioned, Elijah Kelly, and Shanice Williams, who's brand new to it, and many, many other people. Talk about working as an ensemble for the show. You come into it pretty late, but you get to work with those guys. So.
Well, when I came in, everyone was so welcoming and so supportive. That was the beauty about the whole Wiz cast, is that, I was a fish out of water. It was that Broadway is something, especially like Broadway musicals. I've never done a Broadway musical. I've done off-Broadway acting, but I've never done a Broadway musical. And to have Neo and David and everyone be so supportive, like from the beginning, it meant so much to me. And every day, everyone was like really there for each other, because we were there for so many hours. And I guess you had to really, support, the person that was standing next to you. So yeah, it was great.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So in preparation up to the live broadcast, the sets are so amazing in this, and your lair in particular, this industrial kind of underground thing. What did that add to the experience when you finally got onto the set, and how did that help your performance?
Wow, when we finally got onto the set, I mean, are you talking about the night that we went live, or the night, or just rehearsal?
First started rehearsing, yeah.
Wow, that was fun. That was fun. The costumes, wearing the costume was fun. The nails, because I had the nails, the makeup, it just made everything come to life, and it just made it really, really real. And it just made you I actually felt like I was a part of the Wiz. Like every night it was like, oh my God, I'm in the Wiz. This is crazy. I'm the witch in the Wiz. It made it a reality, more of a reality.
Mm-hmm. And then of course, when you add the cameras into that, I mean, this is such a great, and there's been a big influx of these live musical broadcasts, these really great meldings of stage and screen. So take us on to the day of the live broadcast. I mean, what were the last minute jitters like? Do you have any, backstage stories that,
Oh, okay. The day of the show, like all I could think of is, because they carried me out on a carriage, right? And I had to walk down and step down these steps off of the carriage. I was like, okay, I do not want to get caught on this thing. I just kept freaking out over that. And I was backstage. It felt like my heart was going to jump out onto the floor, because we were about to go live. But once we hit live, it was all Evillene. She just went evil. But I was so nervous, yes.
Well, did you have that in your mind of like, okay, now it's on camera, or were you just like, did it add any more pressure to what you were doing? Or, I mean, you guys, it looks seamless, it looks really flawless.
Well, there was pressure backstage, but when I got on stage, I was a different person. I was Evillene. I was not Mary J. Blige at all, because Mary J. Blige was backstage nervous. But Evillene was like, get out of the way, Mary J. Blige. I'm coming to just be mean and wicked and selfish and evil and run this joint.
So have you had a chance to watch it now that the broadcast is out? I mean, have you had a chance to look at it?
Yeah, I watched it several times. And I thought it was hilarious. It was funny. It was funny to watch me just being so mean.
What do you think it is about, The Wiz is such a beloved property, and now, your production of it will, I'm sure, be watched over and over again, just like the movie was, and, the stage show is performed over and over again. What do you think is that special quality about that show that makes it last?
Definitely Dorothy, wanting to go home, and just the friends that she finds on the way. It's like life. The friends you find on the way to your destiny. And that's what makes it so special. And then the music and the color and the songs are just unforgettable. That's what makes it special.
Mm-hmm. So right now you're in New Orleans shooting another movie. It's called Mudbound. Is that right?
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about that. How's that going?
Well, this is going great. I'm in my first, 2 weeks of shooting, and we're really mud bound. Like, we're in mud up to our ankles every day. But it's amazing. It's directed by Dee Reese, and she is just awesome. Like, she's super cool. And I'm playing alongside Carey Mulligan, Garrett Hudlin, Jason Clark, Jonathan Banks, Jason Mitchell, David Jerson, Lawrence Turner. So we're out here in the mud. It's so hot in New Orleans.
Yeah, I can imagine. The bayou and everything. I'm curious, making the leap into acting. I mean, you've had such a big career in music. You've won multiple Grammys. You're still writing songs for movies. Making the transition into acting. What made you want to do that? Was that the idea from the beginning, or?
Yeah, it was something I've always wanted to do, because when I was a kid and I was in school, my music teacher would put me in plays and musicals. I would sing and act, and it was something in my heart that I always wanted to do. So this is why I'm doing it. It's a part of my destination. It's a part of where I'm going, and it's a part of who I am. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And with those Grammy wins, we're an awards website, and so we're always curious. You also have been nominated for songs that you wrote for movies, like a Globe nomination for The Help. And so what does that kind of recognition mean for you as an artist?
It means so much to me, because to have people in the film world recognize me for my music, it just means so much. It's a feeling to have your peers recognize you for something other than what you do it's crazy. It's amazing. I'm sorry, to recognize you for what you do is amazing.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, and congratulations on your role in The Wiz Live, and thank you for taking the time to talk to me.
Thank you for speaking to me. Have a great day.
You too. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.